Hello, everybody. I just felt like I needed to share what's been on my heart regarding the tragic, horrible events that have transpired over the last several days in our country. I know many of you are just as upset as I am about what has happened and what is still happening throughout our nation. Racism is a deadly poison that wreaks confusion and brings death on any society. America is not an exception to that. Do you know that people are not born with prejudice? Racism is not a natural human emotion, not at all. Prejudice begins when the heart of the innocent is exposed to people who have developed prejudice in their own heart because somebody somewhere whom they looked up to modeled it before them. It is up to you and me as the church to break the chain of racism, to break the chain of prejudice, and destroy this cycle of hate in our world and in our society. Ending prejudice begins with you and me, church. The words you speak and the life you live before others has impact and influence on others. We are all examples that other people will follow. We all possess a certain amount of influence, every one of us, without exception. You know, I read years ago that it is estimated that even the most introverted person will influence in some shape, fashion, or form some 10,000 people in their lifetime on this earth. We are either good examples or we're bad examples. And whatever you and I set in front of others as an example will be imitated by somebody else. Proverbs 6:19 lists a man who stirs up dissension among brothers as one of the 7 deadly sins of the Bible. Whether we realize it or not, we are all brothers and sisters. Look, the same God who made me is the same God who made you. Paul said that Christians are ambassadors, or Christians are representatives. We're representatives of Christ, and that means that we are representatives of reconciliation. It is time that we as the church accept that title and start healing our land by loving our neighbor, even as we love ourselves. Remember, love is an action verb. And the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. Martin Luther King Jr. put it like this, and I quote, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Pride may be defined as pushing somebody else down in order to lift ourselves up. When religion becomes void of the love of God and love for our fellow man, it becomes useless. It becomes useless to God and it becomes useless to society. This is why Jesus teaches us in Luke chapter 6, 35 and following. Jesus said, "Love your enemies, do good and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful." Then Jesus goes on and he teaches, "Judge not, and you shall not be judged. Condemn not, and you shall not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be put into your bosom. For with the same measure that you use, it will be measured back to you." Church, you and I can make a difference by breaking this cycle of hate, by demonstrating the love and mercy of Jesus Christ to those who are around us. And yes, that includes those we think don't deserve it. So let the church be the church today by representing the love of Jesus Christ. God's love transcends all racial and all cultural barriers this world is so painfully divided by today. My personal prayer is this: Lord, let the whole world see the love of Jesus in me. This has been a Message Minute with Pastor Todd. God bless your day.